What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. It's week 14. Just breathe for a second. It is week 14 of the fantasy football season, the last and final week of the regular season. Fantasy football playoffs are right around the corner. Hopefully you've already made it into those playoffs. If not, hopefully we can answer some questions tonight to help you guys get into those playoffs as a last chance team. Hopefully make a run at a fantasy football championship. With that being said, I'm your host tonight. I'm Andrew Mott. As you guys can see, I'm here on X at Andrew2True. We got a lot of questions we're going to answer tonight, hopefully. As always, you guys are open to ask those questions in the chat. I will be answering all of those that come in for at least the full hour. Hopefully we go the entire way. If we get a little bit light on the questions, we may end a little bit early. Just got some other stuff that I got to do tonight. But if we go the entire way, that is what I would like to do. We're also going to recap the Thursday night game. Had some fantasy football implications in that one. And for my early birds in here, Fritz, Johnny, Niner, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here early. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. But let's answer these early questions. Kevin, my guy, what's up? And we will get into those early bird questions, then talk about the game, and then answer what we got left. So Fritz says, gotta work, gonna miss the stream. Dowdle, Garendo, or Braylon Allen, choose two, full PPR. Thanks in advance, bro. So this is a good question, man, because we do have the Braylon Allen is most likely going to be the starter this week, with Breece Hall being listed as doubtful. Garendo, obviously the starter this week with Chris McCaffrey out, and then you have good old Dowdle, you know, who's been better over the last couple of weeks. All of these guys are going to be the same tier for me. I think if this were my rankings right now, I would probably be going with Dowdle and Braylon Allen as the two. I think Braylon Allen has the better matchup than Garendo. I think Dowdle has the PPR upside. Braylon does feel risky because I do think that there's a chance that Isaiah Davis could get involved, but Braylon has some PPR upside. We've seen him be good so far this year already. I think all of these guys are pretty much the same. They're all going to be running back twos, but I probably would go Dowdle and Braylon Allen because I think they give you a little bit more PPR upside, and you did mention it's a full PPR. Johnny, Winston or Herbert? Captain Crab Legs has been fantasy gold lately. Herbert has 3 top 10 finishes, 8, 8, and 9 in this format, and Famous Jameis has 50% of the starts in his top 10, including a QB1 week. Both of these guys are fairly close in my rankings for me. I would say that Winston is a few behind Herbert in my rankings. I like the matchup for Herbert a little bit more with Kansas City. They just profile as a better defense to target for quarterback production than Pittsburgh. Now, obviously, I know that Winston's been slinging the football around. Herbert and the Kansas City Chiefs are probably going to have a lot of points in that game, hopefully, as well. But it could be a little bit of a slower scoring game as well, so we'll see what happens. But I do have Herbert a couple more ahead, Johnny, so I would go with, why did I space his name? Justin Herbert. Niner, full PPR, start 2 in the flexes with Breece Hall and possibly Kenneth Walker out, Tyrone Tracy, Keenan Allen, Braylon Allen, Zach Charbonnet. Interesting. I would probably be going Tyrone Tracy for certain as one of them. I don't know if Kenneth is actually going to be out. It doesn't feel like he's as certain as out as Breece Hall is. But I'd probably go Tyrone Tracy and Braylon as the 2 flexes. That's probably what I would do there. Actually, you know what? If Kenneth Walker, let's play the game. If Kenneth Walker is out, I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy and Zach. Kevin says, my dude. Niner says, full PPR, start 1 flex, Isaiah Pacheco, Leggett, or Brian Thomas Jr. I'm probably going to go with BTJ. Caleb Williams or Stafford from Marcy. I'm going to go Caleb Williams in this matchup against the Niners over Matthew Stafford against the Bills. Connor, my guy, he says tough times if Kenneth Walker III doesn't play. Raheem Mostert or bring Tank Bigsby from the taxi. If I win this week, I get the bye. Ooh, interesting. I like Tank Bigsby more than I like Raheem Mostert this week. Probably would activate him off the taxi if KW3 can't go. Maybe I need to look into this KW3 injury because I feel like there's a lot of pessimism in the chat right now, and it doesn't feel like I was that pessimistic about him. Let's figure out what's going on, because I was going to pull up this tweet earlier, actually. We'll go to this one real quick because It does say players ruled out for Sunday. We got Cedric Tillman, Taysom, Bub Means. On here, we also have Zamir White, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Higbee, obviously. Roshan Johnson's out, Jordan Mason, Trent Williams. You know, I'm not feeling like, obviously we didn't get the Breece Hall in there because he's not ruled out yet. But it feels like there's a lot of pessimism in the chat. So let's just confirm this. I want to make sure that we're good before we get any deeper into this, because I just don't, for some reason, I'm not feeling like I know why everybody is so upset about Kenneth. Let me just do some research really quickly. Kenneth Walker, ankle calf is questionable for Week 14 against the Cardinals. Walker was limited in Wednesday's practice with a pair of injuries, and then he got downgraded to a DNP on Thursday and Friday. Walker is truly questionable for the week. Coach Mike McDonald said as much after practice, telling reporters that he did not know if Walker would be able to play on Sunday. KW3 can't suit up. Zach Charbonnet will see the back. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so maybe a little bit of pessimism is needed. You know, getting downgraded to DNPs, not great. Yeah, that's a little bit more, makes me a little bit more nervous than normal. So I guess we will be getting a little bit. Yeah, I mean, there you go. You guys are right. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Marcy. Pacheco, Braylon Allen, Darnell Mooney need one running back and one flex. I would go Braylon Allen and Mooney and leave Pacheco on the bench. Dub Nation, need two. Neighbors, Mooney, Addison, Westbrook, Akine, Elijah Moore, or Kenneth Walker. PPR. So if Kenneth plays, you play Kenneth. If he doesn't play, you know, the two next for me would be, Neighbors might not play this week either. I think the easier way to answer this one for you, Dub Nation, is I'll just put them in order. I would go Neighbors, Walker, Mooney, Addison, Akine, Elijah in that order. So once these guys get some better designations, you can operate with that information. Trick says, "Brr, getting cold outside." Dude, it is so cold outside here. I went and walked across the street. We got some food from across the street, and it was so cold, bro. So cold. And I hate the cold. Dub Nation says Murray or Winston. Going Kyler Murray. Trick says Dallas, Panthers, Vikings, or Seahawks defense. Interesting. I think this week I would go with the Vikings defense. Johnny, 6-point passing touchdown. Full PPR, 0.25 points per carry. You got Winston, Garendo, or pull Braylon Allen off the taxi. I probably would go Winston over all of these guys. So Winston would be over the running backs for me in the 6-point passing touchdowns. B says start 3. Cook, Achane, Braylon, Tracy, Garendo, full PPR. Already have Jacob starting. Well, congratulations on that one because he went nuts. I said we would get into that game. We just have so many questions. I just want to get these answered first. Cook and Achane I would be playing, and then I'd probably be playing Tracy over both Braylon and Garendo. Connor says, I just heard about him possibly missing and freaked out. Have Henry on bye. Yeah, I mean, it sounds valid, actually, Connor, so I apologize. Says they play at 425, too. Yeah, I mean, not ideal. Not ideal. Forever Eagle says, sup, man. Better defense rest of season. Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, or keep the Packers. Didn't start them last night. Need to pick up a defense. Okay, let's look at some of these defenses, man. Rest of season schedule. I got to get these schedules pulled up just so we can see them. But I would probably go with Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Packers. I like that Bucks defense. Bengals. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that Buccaneers defense, man. That's the one I'm going to do. You got that matchup against Las Vegas in Week 14 this week. Next week, you got the Chargers, which is a little bit of a bad matchup, but then you got Dallas, and should be good beyond that one. So I'd say Tampa Bay would be the rest of season defense I would go with there. Forever Eagles. Trick says Braylon Allen, ETN, or Cam Akers. Braylon Allen for me, pretty easy. B says start 2. Ridley, Lamb, Adams, Jennings, Waddle. Full PPR already. I'm going to go Ridley and Lamb. Chris, I have Geno Smith in my super flex. Should I grab Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson for the fantasy football playoffs or keep Geno? I have Kyler as my QB1. Bryce has a great schedule. Bryce does have a great schedule, but I would rather have Geno. Probably just be playing the matchups between Geno and Kyler. I like both of them. Soupy Dumplings. Is Braylon Allen a play over Tracy? Isaiah Davis got some run last week as well. I would say no. I would still put Tracy over Braylon in my rankings this week, but they're close enough. I know Isaiah got some run last week. It's tough for me to say he's going to get a massive workload this week. I think Braylon is just more talented than Isaiah Davis. RSG, Dynasty question. Would you drop Chris Rodriguez or Rasheen Ali for Isaiah Davis? I have solid starters now and can wait 2 to 3 years to let things play out. I would drop Rasheen Ali for Isaiah Davis right now, yes. I would not drop Chris Rodriguez. Soupy Dumpling says Herbert or Darnold. I would go Darnold. I like that matchup better. Dixon says, what up? I need to start 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Judy, Devonta Adams, Ridley, Shakir. Also, Tampa Bay defensive special teams a lock. Yes, I like their defensive special teams. That's funny. We just talked about it. The 1 wide receiver, I would go with Ridley. And the flex, I would go Devonta Adams. Those would be the 2 that I play. Frank, if Kenneth Walker is out, do you start Zach Charbonnet or ETN? Half PPR 14-team league. It would be Zach Charbs for me very easily. Marcy, tough flex question with bye weeks. Braylon Allen, Devontae Adams, Darnell Mooney, or Thielen. Full PPR. That is a good question. I think I would lean with Devonta Adams in a full PPR. Right now, when I'm looking at my rankings in my PPR leagues, I have Adams as my wide receiver. Where is he? Where are you, Devontae? I have him as my wide receiver 17. So I think he's kind of in the same territory as guys like Ladd McConkey, kind of like a guy like Tyreek Hill, a DK Metcalf. He's in that range of players for me, so I'd be playing Devontae Adams. Connor says, finishing dinner of Cornish game with potatoes, asparagus, and pomegranate to cure the cold outside. There you go. Jose. 2 running backs, Garendo, Dowdle, Connor, Allen. I'm going to go Allen. I think I'm going to go Allen and Connor for the 2. You could maybe go Connor and Dowdle if you don't want to play the Allen game. I don't mind either of them, but Connor and Dowdle is the safe play. Connor and Allen's probably the upside play, but Connor has to be in the lineup no matter what. James Conner or Braylon Allen? I would go James Conner. Rick Golf says, what up, bro? New to your channel. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. 2 flex, full PPR. Should I start Devonta Smith or Elijah Moore? And also Marvin Harrison or Mooney? So I would go with Devonta Smith, and I would go with Marvin Harrison as the 2 players. So love the matchup for Devontae this week. Him being back and healthy should be a good spot for them to beat up on the Carolina Panthers. Romeo, half PPR, start 3. Devontae Adams, Neighbors, Tracy, or Braylon. I'm going to go with Tracy and Adams. If Neighbors plays, you play him as the 3rd guy. If Neighbors does not play, which I don't think he's going to play. Just being totally honest, I do not think Neighbors is going to play this week. I'm going to go Braylon Allen. But I think you're going to be forced to play Adams, Tracy, and Braylon anyways. IA says Winston or Levis. Give me Winston. Soupy Dumplings says, DFS question, would you prefer Levis, Saquon, AK, BTJ, Judy, Omari Hawkinson, or Herbert, AK, Braylon, London, Evans, Ridley, and Bowers? Okay, let's look at this a little bit closer now that we know what the question is. BTJ, Judy, Omari Hawkinson. I like the second team better. I like the Herbert, AK, Braylon, London, Evans, Ridley, Bowers. I like that one better than that first team. The first team, there's too much risk at the wide receiver position with BTJ, Judy, Amari. I know it's upside, but I don't trust those guys for the most part. You'll get a boom week out of Saquon, but yeah, I like the second team better, Soupy. Romeo says Sam Darnold or Herbert this week. I like Sam Darnold. All right, so I said we would talk about that game. We got all those questions out of the way. Let's talk about that Thursday night football game. I will talk about that. Keep throwing the questions in the chat. We'll answer the questions right after we recap this one Thursday night game. But that does pull us to this game. The Green Bay Packers play against the Detroit Lions on the road in Detroit. You get Detroit winning 34-31. Hey, the Lions are now 12-1. They clinched the NFC North, I think is what they did in that one. Or maybe it was the playoffs or something like that. I saw that they clinched. Jared Goff goes 283, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Takes 3 sacks. Or he takes 1 sack for 3 yards. David Montgomery goes 14 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs goes 15 carries for 43 yards. And then Jameson Williams leads the way, receiving 5 for 80. Laporta 5 for 54, Tim Patrick 6 for 43 and 2 touchdowns. I'll be honest, every time I saw a Tim Patrick touchdown, I was just more and more disappointed that it wasn't Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams. Needed those touchdowns to go to J-Mo or Amon-Ra. Bro, nobody played Tim Patrick. Why are we getting two touchdowns from Tim Patrick? Amon-Ra goes 5 for 43. Like I said, Monty 5 for 33. Jahmyr 6 for 30 and a receiving touchdown. Overall, the Lions, they had a good day. If you had J-Mo, you're happy with what he gave you. If you had Laporta, he did a good enough job. Amon-Ra probably disappointed you, and he's probably the only Lion that disappointed you in this matchup. Monty, Gibbs, they all did good. But overall, that's kind of what happens with Detroit. The biggest disappointment of the day is going to be on the Green Bay Packers side of the football. Now, Jordan Love, he goes 12 for 20, 206 yards and a touchdown. It wasn't a good game from Jordan Love. I don't care what people say. I know that he scored 31 points and he had a chance to win the game there at the end, potentially before, the Lions go down and they drain all the clock. 12 completions, it ain't what I need. Josh Jacobs, he goes 18 carries for 66 yards. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and I'll tell you what, 3.7 yards a carry. For scoring 3 touchdowns, it was very underwhelming from a rushing standpoint, but they kept getting the ball close to the red zone, into the end zone, and then it just was going to Jacobs. It was a very weird day, in my opinion, for the Green Bay Packers. Now, Christian Watson, he goes 4 for 114. Dontavion Wicks goes 4 for 49. No Romeo Doubs in this game, so obviously Wicks gets activated a little bit more. Tucker Kraft scores the receiving touchdown, 3 for 41 and a touchdown. And then the disappointment of the day, the disappointment of the week, a guy that burned me this week in one of my leagues. So I know in the Discord, a couple people asked me, Jaden Reed or this guy, Jaden Reed or that guy. I said I like the matchup for Jaden Reed. I'm sorry. Jaden Reed, he burned me too. This was horrible. Horrible from Jaden Reed. 0 for 0 for 0. 1 target. Jameson Williams is sitting there talking about on Instagram, did Jaden even show up to the football game? Apparently Jaden didn't even show up is what J-Mo said. So tough day. Overall, Packers, they fall to 9-4. Detroit's 12-1. I think these are both playoff teams still. I think we're going to see these guys play some football in the playoffs. But Jaden Reed, you burnt us in the final week of the fantasy football season. What the hell, man? I love you, Jaden, but god damn, man, that sucked. Let's get back to the questions. Marcy says Ducks or Penn State. Let's go with the Ducks. Colby, I have Ridley and Westbrook rostered with Pacheco, Hunt, and Edwards on the bench. What are your thoughts? I mean, my thoughts on the team, it's fine. I mean, having Ridley and Westbrook there is fine. You get one of those guys. Westbrook's been getting the touchdowns. I like Ridley a lot this week. Pacheco and Hunt, they're kind of eating away from each other right now. I don't think I feel confident in either of those guys right now. And Gus Edwards this week is not a guy that I want to play if I don't have to. I had him actually as a must-sit this week. Soupy says, thanks, Jaden Reed. Yeah, appreciate you, Jaden. God damn it. Johnny says, clinch a playoff spot. So there you go. Beta, my guy, he says, my boy, what's good? MVS or Jaylen Warren in the flex, start 10 in a redraft. I like Jaylen Warren more. I'd probably be playing Jaylen Warren there in the start 10 redraft. Dixon says, forgot to mention the flex option in full PPR. Would you start Pollard over any of the wide receivers, Ridley, Adams, Judy, or Shakir? Sorry for the mix-up. Need one wide receiver and one flex. Yes, I would play Pollard over those guys. So I'd probably be going with Pollard and Ridley. And if you don't want to go with both of them, I don't mind you going with Pollard and Adams. So probably got to put Pollard in there no matter what. Johnny says Tim Pat on best ball. Yeah, I think I got him in some best ball leagues. Not anything that you'd be doing lineup wise, but let's see percentage of Tim Patrick. I know for a while there it was okay, but we'll see. Let's look. Drafts completed. They changed the app here, bro. So, like, I don't even really know how to track this shit. Apologize for my language there, but NFL. Let's see. I'm gonna find this for you, Johnny. Tim Patrick in 2%. 2% of drafts. So it doesn't even matter for me, bro. We got him in 2%. Guess I had a really good Thursday night football game on those 2% of teams. Dixon says, also, any tips on joining a Dynasty League? Seems like a big thing to join, and I don't have a friend group looking for such a big commitment. Actually, yes, I would say Dynasty is one of my most favorite things to play. I love Dynasty. It's my favorite way of fantasy football to play. It is a big commitment because you are essentially picking a team to roster for, hopefully, a very, very, very long time. There's tons of people in our Discord that I'm certain would love to start a Dynasty League with you. We have a lot of people in there. Lots of people want to play fantasy football. My suggestion is give yourself something to play for. If it's a $25 buy-in, a $50 buy-in, something like that, give you something to play for. Go join it with some people that have done it before. And there is a video on the channel. It's basically Dynasty Leagues 101, Dixon. I would strongly encourage you to watch that one as well. It's like how to play Dynasty Fantasy Football. If you go into the playlist, go to Dynasty Fantasy Football. It's going to be in there. I would watch that, but my big tip would be make sure you're certain you want to play. You're going to love it if you do. I promise you're going to love it if you do go play it. And if you're looking for some good league mates, maybe you don't have a good friend group looking to commit to a Dynasty, there's tons of people in our Discord that will. Just go to the League Finder tab and join that Discord. It is free to join. Marcy, do you think Dan Lanning is a candidate for NFL coach? Do you think he'd leave the Ducks? I haven't heard his name being floated around for NFL coaching vacancies. Also, it's kind of a sweet gig, you know, to be the coach at Oregon. So it'd probably take some money. Maybe. I just haven't heard his name being floated around so far. There's a lot of good offensive coordinators in the NFL that are probably looking for head coaching promotions. One name that I saw floated around was Notre Dame's head coach. His name was floated around with the Chicago Bears, I think, because they drafted him a long time ago. B-Dub says, Chiefs vs. Lions, Super Bowl, book it. KC by 3 for the first 3P ever. Hollywood Brown MVP. God damn. Bold take. Trevion Henderson is RB2 in his class. Roll, I don't hate it. I mean, I had Trevion as my number one running back in this year's class before he went back to school, but I had him tiers above everybody else. I liked him more than Jonathan Brooks. I liked him more than, Trey Benson, all these other guys. So I don't hate it. Forever Eagle says, got Derrick Henry on bye, picked up Isaac Rendo, or should I start Tyrone Tracy or put a waiver wire in on Braylon Allen? I would probably just play Tyrone Tracy over Garendo. And if you can get Braylon Allen, I'd be trying to get a waiver wire claim in for him too, just to have all of them. But there you go. Johnny says, apologize for the language. What the fuck are you talking about? Appreciate it. Keep me in check, Johnny. I like that. But yeah, that's what I would do with the Eagles. Soupy, one more DFS for you. Josh Allen, Jettas, Judy, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ingram versus Herbert, Ridley, London, Evans, Bowers. I like the Herbert, Ridley, London, Evans, Bowers more. I like that one. Roll says projected late first, Trey Benson and A-Rich for Bijan, because I just made that trade. Is it a super flex? If it's a super flex league, I think I'm going to take the first A-Rich and Benson, but I don't hate it either. If you don't need A-Rich anymore, taking Bijan is just as good. So he said I got the package. Yeah, I mean, it could go either way depending on your team needs. $10 bet on Jacobs 3 touchdowns plus Patrick 2 touchdowns equals $100K. Hopefully you did that, Soupy, and if you did, throw me a little something too. Johnny says, oh, we already did that one, Johnny. Eagles, on my other league, I have Connor for my RB slot. Should I put Pollard over Connor or move him on to the flex? I have DJ Moore on the flex, half PPR, picked up Charbonnet as well if Kenneth Walker misses this week. I would be playing Connor and Pollard over DJ Moore in the flex. So I would just go Connor and Pollard. The roll says 2 QB actually. Yeah, I mean, that's even more important, I think. Marcy says, sorry for the duck obsession. Go Ducks. Hey, I ain't mad at it. You can do what you got to do, Marcy. What else we got, folks? Anything else? Appreciate all the activity in the comments tonight. IA says if Neighbors can't go, Jonnu, Mooney, or Garendo at the flex and Joku at tight end. To be honest, I probably would go Jonnu over Njoku at the tight end spot myself, just based off of what Jonnu's been doing lately. But I'd probably go Garendo if Neighbors can't go. Mega, Bo, A-Rich, and Lamar on bye this week. Rough. I have to start Sam Howell. Ain't no damn way. There ain't no way that you got to start Sam Howell. Are there any backup QBs you think might get in due to benching, injury, that have a better shot at playing than Howell? There's just no damn way that there's nobody else. I mean, you want to get grimy. I mean, Justin Fields gets on the field for a couple running plays and things like that every couple weeks. Maybe Justin Fields is a potential backup that could do it. I mean, hell. DeVito maybe has a better chance than Sam Howell to get on the football field. Drew Lock. Whoever's starting, I can't remember. I think Drew Lock's starting. DeVito is on the bench. He probably has a better shot. Trey Lance, maybe. Desmond Ridder. These are the guys that I'd be looking at. Tyrod Taylor, maybe, but I can't imagine Rodgers gets benched. Damn, it's rough out here, bro. It's rough out there, Mega. I'd probably say Justin Fields is the only backup quarterback that I think could maybe get in. Other than that, though, it's probably Lance, Ridder. Those would be the guys, probably Lance or Ridder, or one of the Giants quarterbacks. Soupy says, I bet 100 on Jaden Reed overs. I'm eating ramen right now. God damn it. Mr. Magic, my guy. JSN, Jacoby, DK, full PPR. Which one? Give me Jacoby. Give me Jacoby here. Soupy says Penix. You think that they bench Kirk in a return to Minnesota? I mean, Minnesota fans would go nuts if Kirk got benched because of our defense. That would be horrible. But yeah, I guess maybe. I mean, if he throws 5 more interceptions, which I hope he does, god damn it. Who knows? Darnold over Stafford. I got Puka too. Yes, I would play Darnold over Stafford. But if you want the stack, I don't mind you going with Stafford, but I would go straight up in a bubble Darnold over him. Beto says Worthy or Nick Westbrook Akine start 9 redraft flex spot. Give me Akine, man. He's been getting into the end zone. I think you're looking for ceiling plays with both of these guys. Neither of them really have a floor. I think both of them can go out there and give you like 4 points if it's a bad day. But Westbrook, he's been on a tight touchdown streak. Just throw him in, man. Probably would be putting him in there and just chasing the touchdowns. Mega says, so rough. Thank you, bro. No worries, man. Appreciate you. Roll says, rate my full PPR lineup this week. Caleb, Swift, ETN, Chase Jefferson, Mike Will, Brock Bowers, Cam Akers. I know Williams and Akers are bad. Yeah, I mean, they are bad. I would not be trying to play those guys anywhere. But the fact that you got Chase and Jefferson, Brock Bowers, I mean, those 3 guys are probably helping you win weeks by themselves. So it could definitely be worse. Swift makes me a little bit nervous because he is a little bit banged up right now. But I think you should be okay. Those 3 studs are just studs, man. Marcy says, if DJ Moore doesn't play, you still like Caleb? Yeah, I still like Caleb. I think he's still going to have to throw the football. Still got Rome, still got Keenan Allen. It's going to move, Keenan Allen up my rankings quite a bit if DJ doesn't play. It'll move Cole Kmet up the rankings at the tight end position, and Rome will be, I think, a startable wide receiver 2, low-end wide receiver 2 maybe, if DJ doesn't play. So, yeah, I'd still play Caleb. I think they just have to pass the football. Roll says, I love Penix in Dynasty. A lot of people do. Blue Line says, which 2 would you start out of McConkey, Juwan Jennings, Ridley, and Marvin Harrison Jr.? I'd be going with Ridley and McConkey. Mr. Magic says, do you see Keenan still turning it up this week? He could, man. It's hard to trust, but ever since they made the offensive coordinator change, he has kind of been low-key the wide receiver 1. I don't see him getting, the double touchdowns and things like that he's got over the last couple weeks, but should still be a good spot for him to get some PPR points. Roll says Dolphins D as well. Johnny says, after watching the stream, I'm sitting Darnold. See previous Jaden Reed takes. Hey, look, man, you want to hit all of them 100%? I probably am never going to do that for you, unfortunately. So I'll try and hit more of them than I miss for you, hopefully, and hopefully give you the data and the research to back it up. But yeah, I would probably still play Darnold, man. I don't know what your other plays are. Let's reference the rankings, man. Darnold right now, I have him as QB4 on the week. If you got Burrow, Allen, or Hurts, I support sitting Darnold. But if it's not one of those 3, I have Darnold over all of them. Glenn, with McConkey questionable and playing Sunday night, should I risk it if the news isn't out or play Addison? I think I'd probably risk it. I don't suspect him sitting. Let's just go read up on the latest piece of news just in case we haven't seen it yet. I want to say we've already seen it, but let's see. Is it limited in practice? See, if he was a DNP, I'd be a lot more worried, but he was limited, so I think he's going to be okay. We'll keep an eye on tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big indicator. If he doesn't give us a full practice tomorrow, it could be a little bit worrisome, but I think tomorrow's going to be the teller. Probably would still wait on McConkey at this moment. But if he doesn't get a full participants tomorrow, start to get a little bit more nervous. Devonta, Garendo, Addison, half PPR. Need one to start at wide receiver and one at flex. Okay, let's go with Devonta and Garendo. I'm going to play those 2. Patrick Mahomes or Sam Darnold this week? Sam Darnold for me. John, is Homer a viable backup for Swift? Yes, Roschon Johnson's not playing, so Homer would be the next guy up behind Swift. There's a chance he gets some usage. I wouldn't feel confident throwing him out there, but he would be the next guy up. Mr. Magic says, can Aaron Jones and Hawk go off this week, please? I need them to. I wouldn't mind it. I have the over on Aaron Jones receptions this week. I think the line was 2.5. I have the over on that one. Hawkinson would love a big Hawkinson game, but I just want a Vikings win, man. I just need a Vikings win. Let's ruin the homecoming for Kirk Cousins. Tua or Jameis? Good question. I think I'm probably going to lean Tua here. Let me reference the rankings because I feel like those are way closer than I think they are. Want to make sure that I give you the right answer here. Yeah, I would go Tua. I have Tua right now as my QB 11. Winston is my QB 13. The matchup just for Winston bumped him down a little bit. Jacoby maybe. ATL has no pass rush. Nuke spot for Darnold. I think so too. I just think it's a good game for Darnold, man. I can't imagine it to be bad. I benched it's not looking super great right now, just because he threw 3 touchdowns, but I benched Jared Goff last night for Sam Darnold. We'll see what happens, but I had Goff as my QB8 on the week. I had Darnold as my QB4. Hawk or Kincaid? I would rather go Hawkinson than Kincaid. I'm not even 100% sure Kincaid is going to play this week. He probably will, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Can you explain more why Winston over Levis? Volume, the matchup looks better for Levis. Yeah, I mean, Winston is just a much better quarterback than Will Levis is, to be honest. When I look at my rankings, Jameis Winston is 14. I got Will Levis as 16. The matchup is propping up Will Levis. Jameis Winston's matchup is pushing him down. I think just Winston is going to be in a position where he throws more footballs. He's more accurate when he throws a football than Will Levis. It's just the volume play for me. The matchup is still good for Levis, but if you told me that Will Levis in a good matchup threw 2 touchdowns, it's probably the best that he can do. I don't ever see him being a guy that throws 3 or 4, touchdowns. You can see Winston doing that. You can see him throw 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 500 yards like he did last week. Like, he can do things like that. He's going to turn the ball over. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be sloppy. But that's just why I would do that. I just am really not super excited about playing Will Levis, even when the matchup is pristine. I mean, I even look at the last couple of weeks. 2 touchdowns is about where he's at. 200 yards, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's about where he's at. Mr. Magic, drop Kincaid for Ertz. I got Daniels. I would not do that at the moment. Because if you have Hawkinson, I just play Hawkinson and keep Kincaid. Would you start Braylon Allen over Dowdle? I have him in the same tier. I think you could go either way. Dowdle is safer than Braylon Allen. He's going to have some PPR upside as well. Braylon's probably more of a home run swing. They really are in the same tier to me, so I think you could go either way. I think Dowdle's safe. So it depends on what you can put up with this week. If you are nervous about Isaiah Davis, go Dowdle. If you're not nervous about Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen has an argument of being a higher upside play. John, speaking of Hawk and Tua, is Hawk Tua girl done after rug pulling everyone on her shitcoin? Probably. Look, I'm not. I've already said this on the show multiple times. I am not a crypto guy by any means. I don't, invest in a lot of crypto. I don't invest in any crypto, But I will say, for everybody who bought in, because I've seen this all over the internet at this point, for everybody who bought into this Hawk Tua coin or the Hawk coin or whatever it was, if you're buying into that shit and you think this is legit, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, it sounds harsh and it sounds blunt, but if you're buying Hawk Tua girls meme coin, brother, what are we doing here? I mean, you are investing money that you should be investing somewhere else. There's so many more things you could invest in other than some Hawk Tua coin. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, she's probably going to get in a lot of trouble, man. I've seen people putting out allegations that she could potentially go to jail. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I just think it's ridiculous. Anybody who got scammed out of doing that, you scammed yourself, bro, by believing that this Hawk Tua shit is some legitimate business thing. It's just actually insane. Scribble says no way people bought that Hawk Tua shit. Yes, they did. I've seen X Spaces and all these other things. People going crazy. Down bad. You said it, Scribbles. Simp. Kincaid or Noah Gray, full PPR. Pickens, Tyrone Tracy, Braylon, BTJ. Need one running back and 2 flex. I'd go Kincaid over Noah Gray. For the full PPR, I'm going Pickens, Tyrone Tracy, and Braylon. Aiden. Just sniped Braylon and thinking about flexing him over Tracy and Pacheco this week. 9-4, so no consequences, but thoughts on Braylon rest of the season? I mean, we'll see what happens with the injury for Breece Hall the rest of the season. Right now, I'm looking at it as you get a free week out of Braylon. Anything more is bonus. But I would play Braylon over Pacheco this week if I had that. I'd go Tracy and Braylon. Braylon Allen or Pacheco? I'd go Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen to the moon. Let's get on the rocket ship first, and we'll see where it takes us. But potentially could be. I mean, he could be one of these. We talked about Garendo all week as a potential league winner. Braylon is the same type of mold, so hopefully you've been stashing him. Mahad says, okay, cool. Also, is it true that there is possibility of Breece being sidelined for fantasy playoffs? I mean, if the injury is big enough, he's hurt enough, the Jets don't have shit to play for right now. They could shut him down. It would be different. Johnny says, invest in 8-leg parlays on Underdog. That's probably a better investment, Johnny, than the fucking Hawk Tua coin. The Roll says, okay, another PPR league. Caleb, Saquon, Swift, London, DK, QJ, Kyle Pitts, Travis Etienne, and Jags D. love that you have Saquon. Caleb Williams going to be good. London, DK's fine. QJ, and don't really love that. Kyle Pitts, ETN, Jags D. It's all right. I would say the flex plays QJ, ETN, I'm not in love with there, but should be good with Saquon this week. Soupy says higher EV, Hawk Tua coins, or my 12-leg parlays. I would say I would go as far as to say, y'all got me Hawk Tua-ing on the mic right now. I mean, I'm sitting out here spitting and shit. I'm so fired up about this. I don't know why, randomly. Hawk Tua or 12-leg parlays, I'd probably go as far as to say if you placed a 20-leg anytime touchdown parlay, that has better chances of getting you positive EV than the damn Hawk Tua coin. And I'll give you 20 of them at the moment if you need them all. As long as you pay me what that Hawk Tua coin is worth. It's probably not worth shit now, but what it was worth. Kenneth says, choose one for the flex. Allen, Pacheco, Westbrook, Chubb, Waddle. The one I'm playing is Keenan Allen. What else we got, folks? What else? Marcy says, love your Hawk Tua take. Totally agree. You buy that crap, you deserve what you got. Point blank, period, Marcy. Point blank, period. It's just like, man, what did you think was going to happen? What did you think? I don't know. Nice to have a bunch of money that you can just throw on Hawk Tua, right? Kenneth, sorry, I meant Braylon Allen. Oh, I don't know why my mind went to Keenan Allen. We've been talking about Braylon all night. What was it? It was Kenneth, where's yours? Braylon Allen, Pacheco, Westbrook, Chubb, Waddle. I'd still go Braylon Allen. Keenan Allen, Braylon Allen, don't matter. Give me Allen. Fire Sports Cards says I have to start 3 in my flex. Braylon Allen, Marvin Harrison, Pickens, Neighbors, Grendo, Dowdle. Give me Pickens, Marvin, and Neighbors if he plays. If Neighbors doesn't play, it's probably Dowdle for me. Soupy, give us the 20-legger. Let's retire. Johnny says Andrew's spitting on the mic. Telling me. Roll. I could start Elijah Moore over ETN or QJ. Probably not. Mega, Hunt, Demarcus Robinson, or Parker Washington full. I'd probably go with Demarcus. Start 10. Same league, I have to start Howell. Yeah, I'd probably go to Demarcus Robinson. I just think he can maybe get a touchdown better than the other guys. So I'd probably go him. 20-legger, Soupy. We're probably going to try and... We're probably going to have to just throw some random shit in there. Keon or Leggett. I like Leggett more. Soupy, I don't know why I want to entertain you to possibly just build a 20-legger out for you, but I ain't doing all that right now. You found me not only spitting on the mic, Johnny, but you found me capping on the mic too. I ain't building a 20-leg right now. What are we doing? What else, folks? We got about 10, 15 more minutes left in this stream, so if you still got questions, let's throw them in the chat. If not, if you just want to talk about other shit, we can just talk about other shit. Don't matter to me. Talking about Hawk Tua coins for the last 10 minutes. Fire Sports Cards. First of all, I feel like your name is like a business. Like, I feel like you do sports cards. Fire Sports Cards, that is, obviously. If you want to send me some, send me some as well. 2 tight end premium. Start Johnny Smith or Cooper Rush in my super flex spot. I probably would go Jonnu in a 2 tight end premium. B-Dub, 1 QB Dynasty, 2 wide receivers, and 2 flex. You got McConkey and CD questionable. Who are you taking as the replacement if one of them doesn't play? MVS, Nick Westbrook, Akine, or Odunze? I'd probably go Westbrook, Akine, and then Odunze after that. If if DJ Moore does not play, Odunze would move up ahead of Akine. So Do Nick Westbrook, and then Odunze, and then MVS. But if DJ Moore doesn't play, put Odunze number 1. Soupy says, we know Westbrook Akine is hitting. Yeah, you know Saquon's hitting, so throw Saquon on the thing too. I mean, what else? Let's go through it. Chase Brown getting in there, obviously. Alvin Kamara, he's getting in. I think Kyron is getting in, and Tony Pollard is getting in. I mean, what? I already got you 6 legs right now. Jefferson is a lock. Pickens getting in. You could throw Drake London on there. Brock Bowers is scoring. I mean, how many legs we got there, Soupy? Beat Up says, and who you leaving out for my flex? My bad, from the 3. I'd probably leave MVS off. I probably would not play MVS if I don't have to. The roll. I traded T-Law for Russell Wilson, Kareem Hunt, and Calvin Ridley. Thoughts? I already had Burrow, Caleb, A-Rich, and A-Rod. Is this a Dynasty? Yeah, he says Dynasty 2 QB. I don't love the secondary pieces that you got. Russell Wilson, I think he's going to find himself another contract. I think he's going to play for the Steelers for a while. So I don't mind, going from T-Law to Russell Wilson. I just think Kareem Hunt has no value. He has no value in Dynasty. I don't think he has any redraft value the rest of the year. Yeah, I don't love Calvin Ridley. I don't love Kareem Hunt. Calvin Ridley's fine though. I just wish you would have got some better pieces. Howell, Mason Rudolph, or Ritter, bro. Only available start 10 Dynasty Superflex. I think if anybody had the chance of getting in, it's Ritter to me. He would be the guy. I think Aiden O'Connell is banged up right now too, isn't he? Yeah, Aiden O'Connell is questionable with an illness. Brother, it's gotta be Ritter. You gotta pick Ritter up. If he doesn't play because he's sick, you might get a starting QB. It's Ritter, no doubt. Fire Sports Cards. In an 8-team league, trade the 106 or 107 plus 2 2026 seconds for the 101 in 2025. Yeah, I'd give the 106 for the 101. Or 107 plus. Yeah, I'd give the 107 plus 2 seconds for the 101 easy. Not even thinking about it. Soupy says, I'm a degenerate. I only take plus odds legs. Fair enough. I've been trying to be a responsible sports gambler. That's probably what somebody with a gambling problem tells themselves. But I've been trying to become a responsible gambler. So that's what I've been doing. I haven't really been parlaying anything, really. I just been straight betting. And if I do parlay, I do like 2 legs just to get it to somewhere close to like plus 100. Johnny, to build a 20-legger, just ask me my picks on Sunday and do the opposite. That might be the way to go, Johnny. If you're on a cold streak, we might just do that. The Roll says, no one wanted T-Law. My best offer besides that was the 2027 first. I probably would have been holding T-Law, to be honest. I don't think he's a sell right now in the Dynasty market. He's a hold to me. I'm not selling at this time. Come back another month, another day. But all right, folks, is that it? We got a few more minutes left. I will tell you, I'm going to call last call, final call for questions. If you got final questions, throw them into the chat. I'll answer them right after I cut you a promo. But if this is your first time to the channel, I always got to hit the promo once a stream because our friends over at Underdog, they are offering you guys some ways to win. We've been talking a lot about winning some money. You want to win some money, this is the best way to do it. Sunday Night Football, if Justin Herbert gets 1 total yard, yes, you heard it, 1 yard on Sunday Night Football, this part of your, pick'em entry, it cashes. So make sure you sign up to get this free pick. The only way you can get that, though, is if you sign up using our code League FFB. They will also give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash if you sign up using that code. So you get some free money to play with. You get the Justin Herbert 1 total yard. If he gets that 1 total yard, that part cashes. You can help yourself win some money with the free money that they gave you. Literally no risk in signing up. Like I said, it supports the show, does a whole bunch of stuff for us. So appreciate you using code League FFB. But that is for new customers. So if you've already played, go join the Discord and throw what you're playing this weekend into the Underdog channel. But yeah, make sure you go get that Justin Herbert, man. It's literally a freebie. So the only way of doing that is code League FFB. Now, B-Dub, 1 quarterback, 2 Superflex league. My third QB is hurt. Bench is trash. Demarcus Robinson or Mac Hollins in the last Superflex spot. I would go D-Rob over Mac Hollins. Ian says 10-3 and lost CMC and Jordan Mason, but I already secured the bye, so I have 2 weeks to find an RB2. Any suggestions? Garendo and Braylon are gone already. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm so happy that I still have this here. Ian, this is my stash players. Let's go find that. Have it right here. Running back stashes. Any of these guys are available, Ian, I strongly suggest going to try and pick them up. Get that off the screen. I don't know why that's there. Charbonnet, Braylon Allen, Tajay Spears, Tyler Algier, Justice Hill, Roshan Johnson, Trey Benson, Kamani Vidal, Blake Corum, Ray Davis, Jaleel McLaughlin, Kenneth Gainwell, Patrick Taylor. These are guys that I think should be stashed on the back end of your bench if injuries happen to the guys above them. They all have some playability. I would strongly suggest trying to go grab some of these guys. So, yeah, those would be my options. Screenshot this if you need it, and go try and pick them up on your waiver wire. They are available in over 50% of leagues, so you should have some availability here. Soupy, let me get that off the screen. What am I doing? Soupy, I'll compromise and be responsible. No 20-legger, but who's in the Super Bowl this year? Who wins? Who's MVP? What's the Gatorade color? All right. Super Bowl this year is... I think I'm going to go with... I don't know who the Super Bowl is going to be. I'll tell you what I think the AFC and the NFC Championship games are going to be. I think it's going to be the Eagles-Lions in the NFC. I think it's going to be the Bills-Chiefs in the AFC. I think those are going to be the 4. When it comes to the Super Bowl champions, it's going to come down to home field. I would love to see a Bills-Lions Super Bowl. That would be really cool. That's probably not the way it's going to go. Who wins? I don't know. Who's the MVP? I don't know. What's Gatorade color? That shit definitely going to be yellow. You heard it here first, Soupy. It's yellow. Mahad says, when are we going to see Rome emerge, man? I guess not this year. He's the only rookie I held on to all year, and I was hoping it would be a situation like Bucky now. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a weird situation, obviously, coaching-wise for them. I still have a lot of faith in Rome Odunze. I'm not moving off of him in any Dynasty leagues or anything like that. Redraft, he's probably cuttable, but at this point of the year, too, the waiver wire is really dry, so probably not going to be this year. I would probably put my money on next year's when we start seeing him really emerge. Johnny, are you anticipating 3 NFC North teams in the playoffs? I am. I think all 3 of them make it. Sorry, Chicago. The roll, what would you give on top of a projected mid to late first for the 101? I'd be willing to, assuming I am a contender, I would go my mid to late first this year, and I would go my first in 2026, and I'd go all the way up to the 21. I give my next 2 years of first, this year and next year, to go get that 101. Pretty easy. Ian says, thank you, no problem, Ian. Beat Up says, got off work early and got to finally catch the show again. Love what you're doing, bro. Keep it up. About to grab dinner. I appreciate you, Beat Up. For real. Means a lot. Glad to have you here. And we're about to wrap up anyway, so I appreciate you. Maybe that's just the final call here. So appreciate you guys. We are going to wrap this show up right now. We have been going for about an hour. As always, folks, if you have not done that yet, I ask you, please go hit that like button for me. It is the best free way to show this channel some support. Literally costs you nothing, takes no time out of your day. You may have to hit the button, but it does help us out a lot. So if you haven't done it, go hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you've been talking in the chat, you already are, so don't trip on that one. Fantasy football playoffs right here, right around the corner. And we're trying to win some championships, man. We are going to be doing streams throughout the entire fantasy football playoffs. Even though I am traveling, we are still going to be streaming. So I'm still trying to figure out a way to get a setup where I'm going to get that set up and ready to go. But there will be streams. Probably going to add another Q&A stream every single week. We're going to call that like the winner's circle or maybe championship mindset. Something about the fantasy football playoffs. We'll talk about fantasy football matchups, all that good stuff. I'm not leaving you high and dry just because I'm going on vacation, because it never stops. The grind never stops. We got to win some championships, and that's the damn way to go. But that being said, that is all I have for you today. Soupy says, Israel abandoned Canada, going to win some championships. Just like us. So that is it, folks. Nothing else for you today. See you on the next one. Till then, peace out.